Hello, my name is Maureen Munoz and I interned under the Central California Environmental Justice Network this summer. I currently study environmental engineering with an intended marine science minor at UC Berkeley. And why I really study environmental justice and environmental quality overall is because it's kind of a pastime for me. I spend a lot of my time, all of my summers, vacations, exploring the great outdoors, going on fun hikes, going snorkeling, going swimming, just playing outside in general. And it was just a lot of fun doing that as a kid. And I would like to preserve that for the future generations to come. It's really important to protect the environmental state we live in, and it's very important that we protect the nature that gives us our food, that gives us our resources, that gives us our air and keeps our world clean. So what I decided to do is I decided to find an internship that would expose me to more environmental resources or expose me to more environmental information. Like what I decided to do this summer is I studied my hometown. I wanted to see what really was the environmental quality of my hometown. I want my family and friends at home to grow up in a healthy environment. And it all starts with knowing what environment you live in. I hope that with these interviews you guys learned something, and without a further ado...
My name is Hector. I live in the southwest side of Delano. I've been living here for about 16 years.
My name is Christine Carrillo. I live on the eastern side of Delano, and I've been here pretty much my entire life.
Hi, my name is Matthew. I have lived here for 17 years, and I live in Morningside, east side as well.
It is said that it's poor since our arsenic levels don't meet the state and federal mandates.
Yeah.
And we have wells that are not working properly in Delano. I believe it's 4 or 5 of them.
Especially like you go to public water fountains and things like that, and it's just not like the best quality. And I mean, it's like for public usage, but still, like I feel like we just don't care about that as much in the town.
It's like if you're in the park and like you want water and you don't have water around you.
Good luck.
It's like, oh, don't drink that public water. Just go back home and get some water.
Basically.
Unfortunately.
The pollution from LA and Barrie just comes and stays here, and with the pesticides from the fields and the almonds and all that stuff, just creates like terrible air quality.
It's really bad. It's not something like we grew up with this, but it's not something we should be growing up with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people would agree. It's just really dry here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's to be expected because we're not really near any water, and like we have to have like man-made like lakes and canals and stuff, so it's just like extremely dry, and then you're straight down in the valley, so it's gonna be like super hot and stuff. So I think that's the one thing that's probably a disadvantage.
Dry heat.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's something that I've come to actually appreciate about living in Delano.
Right.
Just the fact that like even though it's there's a lot of dirt here, and we think of Delano as like this big dirt hole, like honestly like we grow a lot of things here, and we grow food like for the world, and it's exported everywhere. And so that's just something I've come to appreciate. Like you go on the the side of the street and you can see the beautiful fields, and then you look behind it and there's the mountains, like on a clear day when there's no pollution, of course. But yeah, like there is beauty in Delano. You just have to like look.
And so there's a lot of pro-fracking movements, and we all know that with fracking comes even more problems to our environment. And so safe right now, yes, but I don't know about the future.
I mean, I don't see a problem with the environment as it is, but I mean, it just comes down to like making conscious decisions to like continue to replenish, like we have so many fields that, we tear down and then we wait like, a season or two for the soil to like replenish and grow back. But, like once that's done away with and then we don't have any more fields, like then what are we gonna do?
So it's really just up to us. Like, I think we can all agree it's pretty safe right now, but we just have to make conscious decisions and make sure the people who have authority continue to make it safe for everybody who lives here.
I decided to show them the hardcore facts. The facts are collected from Cal EnviroScreen 3.0, which is a report made by the Office of Environmental Health and Hazard Assessment, and the report was made in June 2018. The most affected areas of our city are in the 92nd percentile for pollution burden, meaning we have worse pollution than 92% of other census tracts in California. We're also in the 99th percentile for having a lot of PM 2.5 in our air, which are fine particles that can get into our lungs and cause respiratory problems. We're also in the 93rd percentile for pesticide use, and specifically hazardous pesticide use, which already causes health problems for many of our families in Delano. We're also in the 90th percentile for contaminated drinking water, which can cause digestive problems.
It's kind of shocking to think that, like, I mean, you know, we don't have the best air, but it's
Right.
like, you didn't think it was like that bad, you know,
Yeah.
like with pesticides and stuff. You're just like, whoa, that's a little too high, you know. Yeah.
Like from what we were just talking from experience and then seeing like actual data, it's wild. It's
Yeah.
really wild. But I think it does goes to show how much work we need to put in our environment and how much we need to change that so that people who live here in the future and for the current residents, how clean it should be. Like this is what we're experiencing right now, but we've grown up to be so used to it that it's almost unfortunately like nothing to us. And so like when people go to like the Bay or other places where there's like clearer air and it's like, wow, we can actually breathe. And it's wild because it's true, like we can actually breathe cleaner air, but without people seeing like actual data, you know, people can still experience that.
Sometimes we couldn't even go outside in high school. because
Oh
of
my
the
Gosh,
air.
yeah.
Because the air quality.
There'd be like dust everywhere,
Yeah, that's true.
dirt.
Target the places that you know are affecting us the most. Like, you know, our pesticide like percentile is ridiculous. So how can we change that? You know, and that also goes to just like, you know, you're making the work environment safer for the people who are like working in the fields. You know,
Right.
like that's a big part of like who we are like as a city. So, you know, work on that, and especially because, you know, the kids that go to school, like my high school, we were right next to grape fields and almond trees, and
Yeah.
so like it's not a good idea to be spraying all kinds of junk to kill things when you
Right.
have kids outside, you know, walking around, going to class, marching in the band, playing sports. It's not a good idea. So, you know, just let's start on the small things and how can you make those changes.
I think it's really good for people to understand how bad the air quality is. So starting off really small and educating people on why we need to change the environment here, why they should know about this, because it affects our daily lives, and then what can we do from that point on to make everything better.
Educate people, organize people, and hold people accountable. Whether it be like local politicians or local business growers who are doing all this damage to see. I know there's some organizations doing that in Delano already, but, you know, continue to make them strong.
You have to make it personal, you know, because people aren't going to want to make a change if it doesn't affect them. So you have to show people that, you know, this is how the air affects you. And
Right.
being in this kind of air makes it worse. The people who have asthma, who struggle, you know, who have a lot of respiratory problems, that affects them
Yep.
directly. And there's probably a million other things too that we just haven't looked into. So to own it and say, this is my town and this is our problems and this is what I want to do to change it, I think is important.
Having someone come tell us what the problem is, how to fix it, and how we can organize everybody to really care for our environment and make an actual tangible change. Any change that you want to see in your environment, in your surroundings, take it personal. Find other people who care as well. See how you can change that with amongst yourselves, and just go for it, because we need people like that. We need people who care about change, about positive change. But positive changes to see that, you know, just so that everyone can live better and healthy lives. That's what we want.
World peace.
Don't be afraid to make that change.
Make me your pageant queen.
So vote for us on the
Having done all this research with CCEJN, I hope to take my studies further here at UC Berkeley so that one day, or even today, I may make a change for my hometown and for communities around the world. Because I only hope that for even generations now and for generations in the future, that they can thrive and live in a healthy environment that they can all be proud of and that we can all share to other generations to come. I want to say thank you to CCEJN for giving me the wonderful research opportunity. It was so much fun. Thank you so much. And I really enjoyed learning more about the network we have across California and learning more about my hometown. I also want to say thank you to my friends who took time out of their day to be interviewed by me. And as a final message, always take care of yourself and always take care of the people and world around you.
That's it?
Don't forget to like, subscribe.
Comment, like, and subscribe for further videos. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm just kidding, I don't have a channel.
You should. We should all should.
Okay.
Okay.
Twitter, Facebook.
Well, signing out.
Yeah.